Alright, we're working on a 2006 Ford F-150 FX4. It's the extended cab. Having to replace the window motor on the window back cab. So first I'm going to show you how to remove the door panel, and then show you how to replace the window motor. Alright, I already took these off previously, so they're just kind of sitting on here for the most part. So I want to see what was wrong with the window before I ordered the part. This top piece, two top pieces, just pull them off. So you got your 3 clips here. Spots in there. Same with this other side. Just pull that off. Got 2 clips holding it. And you got to get a little screwdriver down in here, pry it up, slide it back, and it has the connector, but like I already connected everything, getting ready. I said before I order parts, I want to make sure that I was ordering the right one and get the numbers and all that. Make sure it wasn't just something stupid, like it fell off the track, or sometimes the cables get unwound or get wound up a little different. Sometimes you can take them out, rewind it, and be able to fix it that way, but this one's actually busted, so it needs replaced. Alright, but anyways, then next you'll be taking this screw out. There's a screw here, screw in here, and there's one on the bottom. So there's those 4 screws. Also, you have to take your door panel off, or door handle off. So get a screwdriver in there, pop that little piece out, pull that out. And you're gonna have the 2 screws in there. I just put the one back in since it was only temp, so I can open and close my door if I was driving my truck at all. Take it out. And that just pulls out. Now I'll show it when I put it back on too, but whenever you put it back on, you need to take this, get a flat tip screwdriver in there, push it all the way up. You're wanting to push this over, because that's your catch for your handle. Pretty much if you can get it in, get that catch on the side of one of these, well, not the top ones. It hits on this one, it hits on the bottom. So if you can actually figure out how to get in there and slide over and get it up, it's usually easier. Just put a flat tip in here, push that all the way up, and you'll slide your handle in. Otherwise, if that's down, the handle's not going to work whenever you hook it back up. Alright. So it's pretty simple. Now, all the screws are out, handles off. All you do is grab hold of it, flip it straight up, straight out. You have your clips here. Careful with them, they do break pretty easily. Alright, then next you're going to want to peel your plastic back. I already got some of it peeled back. to get into your motor. I'm going to peel the whole thing off. I pretty much peel the whole plastic off, and I get a plastic scraper, clean all the black tar off, clean off the plastic, and then once that's all done, I get the motor replaced or whatever I'm doing in the door. Then I get a little 1/4-inch double-sided tape, put it on here, and just redo the whole thing. Because I mean, you're going to be taking a bolt out of here, 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 and all the way up here. So, I mean, if you only want to do half of it, you're pretty much going to have to pull it off to this side, halfway off for your speaker. So I just take it all the way off, get it out of the way, and then put it back on with that double-sided tape. Or if you just want to try and push it back on with this, because this stays tacky and tarry. But you know, I just redo it. Yeah, with this one, and the window's starting to come down again. You can see how it broke. Well, there you go. So it broke out of here. So it's pretty much shot. The motor might still be good. They recommend you replace everything as an assembly. I bought the whole assembly. I got it at partsgeek.com. It was $55 to $60 for everything, shipping and handling. Once I get it out, I might keep the motor just for gee whiz, because in case the other one burns up someday and the rest of it's good, then I got an extra motor. Always keep extra parts when I replace stuff if it's still good. If it's crap, then just get tossed away like this. This is going to get tossed. There's no way to really fix that or replace that. You just replace the whole assembly. But the motors usually don't burn up. It's going to be the cable that gives out before the motor. I redid my front door a couple years ago because it had burned up. It was acting up, and then the cable snapped after I replaced the motor on it, so then I ended up replacing the whole assembly anyways. So if you're going to do it, just order the whole assembly. Don't just order the motor. It's not that much money, and if you can do it yourself, you know, save yourself some more money also in the long run. Alright, I'm going to show you here real quick. I'm going to put my handle back on. It looks like it's in the store, so probably not going to finish up the motor today. Yeah, just get your flat tip in here, push it all the way up, slide it in, get close. Get your screws in there. So I'm just going to put one to hold it, so I can open it later. Open and close it. That's in. Actually, it didn't work. Jumped past it somehow when I put it on. It wasn't quick enough. With the door panel off, you can see it over here. Get your catches on the right side of it, possibly. screw up. And your door handle works. Good to go. I'll finish up changing out the window motor later once I see what the weather's going to do. Alright, got the plastic peeled back, about half for now. Yeah, take it all off and redo it later. But, alright. You have 2 screws, can't really see them. There's a bolt here, there's one over here. Just want to loosen those up a little bit, not a lot. Get the tension off them because that's what holds your window. There's a little clamp. I'll show you on the new one. And you're taking this one out. This one out. That's your bracket. And these 3 here are for your window motor. So those 3 out. And that one. And that one. Bust out the new one. Alright. Let's see the new one. You got 3 for your window motor. Got 1 down here. And my new one had a bolt already welded on instead of having a nut plate or a nut. This side's got a nut, this one had a bolt, so I ended up having to go get a nut, metric. I go find that one, because the old school one that's in the door is bolts top and bottom. So I don't know, maybe they figured they put this in here that way it's easier to line up. I don't know why they changed stuff. Here's the 2 screws I was talking about. So you just loosen these up a little bit. See, it's a clamp. And that just clamps on your window. Pushes it up, pulls it down. Nothing to it. Probably the hardest thing is going to be getting it out of the door. But if you pull all this back, then when you get it loose, usually just tilt it down, go from vertical to horizontal. You should be able to work it out. This little door frame. I'll show you that once I get it out. Alright, one thing I forgot to tell you, and I just did it, is tape up your window. Because once you pull that out, there's nothing to hold your window. It's just going to drop down in. Could crush your fingers, smack you. It's not heavy, but it's not going to feel good. Take your 3 bolts out here. Drop your window motor down. Here's your connector. Probably not going to be able to do it with one hand, so. But yeah, got a little tab on the bottom. Push it up, pull it off, disconnect that, and everything should be ready to come out. Once you take these off, and those are already loosened up, I push the window up so it's free of the track. Alright, this one's actually easier to get out of the door than the front one. Try and stay out of the way. Just push it up all the way. Pull it out through this hole. Drop it down out. Good to go. You can see how mine broke right there. Cable snapped. So yeah, it's pretty much done. with the new one. Just want to put it in. Do it the opposite of removal. Yeah. Good to go. Looks loose. Everything's lubed. Cables look alright. Slide it up in there. Put all your bolts in. Stick all your bolts in. Tighten it up. Be good to go. Yeah, I guess I did put that in there because that is kind of a little easier. You just put it up there, set it in there. That way it holds it. Put that one in, your top bolt. Hook up your plug for your motor. Hook your motor up. Connect your window. And then we'll ops check it. Hopefully it's not reversed like my front one was, which was an easy fix. I just had to swap the wires, because when I put the old one in, or pulled the old one out, put the new one in, up was actually down and down was up, the way it was wired. And it was ordered for the left side, so I don't know what, maybe it was the motor, but just able to change up the pigtails and fix that. But hopefully it's not the case in this one. Find out when we put it back together. Alright, so we got everything tight. That one, that one, that one. No, all 5. Connectors hooked up. Let's see it. Hooked up good there. Check all your cables. Make sure they're nice and straight. I mean, they're not twisted or anything. And you loosen that one and that one up. And you just reach up at the bottom if you got little arms, hands, and you just spread them apart. Make sure they're spread out. Alright, got the truck on accessory. Plug the control panel back in. And just take it up slow. Everything seems to be lined up in there. Can't really see through these little holes. Everything seems to be lined up and grabbing good. So we're going to tighten those up. And then we'll be able to take the tape off and ops check the window. Alright. Ran up and down twice. Everything seems to work good. You don't want to run it up and down a bunch of times because you'll get the motor all heated up. You could burn it up. I mean, think, you're not putting your window up and down all the time, you know, constantly when you're driving. Anything electrical, you only want to cycle it a couple times, so cycle it once or twice. If you want to do it again, let it sit for 15-30 minutes. Let it cool down. Now you can even check it, be like, how does it feel warm? Which, out here, everything feels warm because it's been in triple digits. A lot of brush fires and stuff around here, but today the air quality is actually pretty good, and it's in the low triples, I think. Actually, we might only be 98 today, so doesn't feel too awful bad. Yeah, I ran it down so you can see those clamps. There's a rubber piece on either side of your window. Just snug these up. You don't need to crank on them real hard. Just think you're clamping on glass. with a piece of rubber and metal. So you don't want to be clamping too hard. Check the gap down the bottom here on both sides. Make sure it's even. But if you run it all the way up, make sure it's sitting flush against it and you snug those up. Everything should be good. But yeah, snug these up. Make sure these are all snugged. Your 3 for your window motor, that one. And your plug. Make sure it is still on there good. This one's got some kind of crazy wire setup. I don't know what the heck. Check it out later. Yeah, then once you're done, you get to put everything back together. Put this on. Like I said, I'm going to pull that all off and redo the whole perimeter with double-sided tape. That way, it's new, it looks good, and it holds on. Pull this off, pull your door handle off, slide your door panel back on. Just make sure your hooks are up in there, push it in, be gentle because you can break those plastic clips. Slide it down in, and hit your screw holes. There, there. Remember there's one on the bottom, there's one here. It's got the clip-on nut plate, which I got to work with and pull it out, clamp on it some so that it stays in place, or maybe you'll be able to put it up like that because it's kind of floating around, want to move. That's once you get your door panel on. And once you get that on, remember these just clip on. It's got the 2 here, it's got 3 here. Those will just snap on. Connect up your connector, snap it into your door panel. Remember when you're putting your handle back on, slide your screwdriver in here. I got a real skinny one. The smaller the better usually to fit in that grab. Put it in there, push all the way up. Slide your handle in. So what you're doing is you're grabbing this tab with that tab behind it. So it actually actuates your door, because if it's on the other side of that tab, which it can get there on the other side, it won't actuate your door. Yeah, if you can try and do some of this stuff yourself, get it done, save yourself some money. But yeah, after you get that door handle back on, door panel back on, it should be good for a lot of years. Heck, this is 2006. I don't run my windows and my back up and down a ton, but I do run a good bit. Took the door panel off on the front one. It's got the 4 bolts here, 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 and down here. Then the window motor, I believe it just had the 1. Can't quite remember. But yeah, it's got the 4 bolts for the channels, because it's got channel on the front and channel on the back. You can see them running here because it's a bigger door, bigger window. So with that one, you just take those bolts out, take it out of the motor, disconnect the cannon plugs from the motor, and you just push the 2 channels together, because it's just cables, so you'll be able to connect them together and get them out of this hole here. It's not bad, just trying to hold everything together. and getting it out through there. And then, yeah, putting it back in is the same way. Similar to the rear door, except the rear door is smaller, so it has the one channel. It only required one for that small window. Or like I said, the front one's got the double. You see the one there in the speaker area. Because the front panels, you have to pull the speaker out of your door. Pull these tabs off. Pull these tabs out to get the door panel off. Unlike the back, you actually can leave the speaker on because none of that stuff's in the way. Yeah, like I said, try and save yourself some money. Google, YouTube. I'll do whatever it takes. Get some of this stuff fixed. I try and do as much stuff by myself that I can. If it gets into some of the electronics reprogramming, then some of that's gonna have to go to the dealer. But I ended up taking my Subaru Impreza into the dealer again for power steering stuff. Changed out the box and all the things, and it needed to get reprogrammed. I saved a good bit on labor, because right now they're charging $170 just for labor. And I know technicians that work back east, I know some technicians are out here, and they're making maybe $20-30 an hour. Which you think that's a lot compared to what some people are making, you know, working at fast food restaurants or any kind of restaurant. But when you're working on these vehicles, it can be a pain. And they usually get paid by the job, not by the hour. So, hey, you have 15-30 minutes to change out this window motor. Takes you an hour and a half. You're still only getting paid for that amount. So I don't know what the dealers are doing with that extra, $140, $150. Possibly paying other employees. You know, maybe the labor's going to pay all the employees. I don't know. But the labor rate jumped $10 to $15 an hour this spring, right after the COVID thing kicked off for some reason. But yeah, last I had it in there was $170 an hour. So, said if you can save yourself some money doing this, look on Google up a bunch of stuff, YouTube a bunch of stuff, ask some friends, get some manuals. You know, these older vehicles, they're easy to get the manuals. The newer ones, like my Impreza, most of my stuff I have to get off the line. But if you can find it, find it. Or heck, head up these little mom and pop shops. Sometimes they'll work a little better with you. Get you in there, say, hey, your parts are going to cost you $500 for something big. You know, they might match it. They might say, okay, labor's going to be that, or labor's going to be $250. You know, but the dealers, yeah, if you're under warranty, hey, go for it. But if you're not like me, it's 2006 and 2013, so it's out of warranty. Do it yourself or go to a mom and pop shop. Whatever you can to save some money. Hope this video helped out some, and until next time.